Welcome to A Regenerative Future with Matt Powers. I'm your host, Matt Powers, and today we're talking about a happy life, a regenerative life, the good life. Let's talk about this because this is something that we all want, and because we don't talk about it, because we're not articulating what that actually means and what the actual steps are, we're letting it slip through our fingers. So let's talk about it. Let's figure out the steps. Let's figure out what we actually want. And then let's go after it and make it happen. So let's begin. How to live a good life. To find happiness, meaning, fulfillment. What are the steps, the pieces, the ingredients? Is it like Oprah said, we need $70,000 a year minimum? Or is it a higher goal that forms a life of purpose? How do we obtain this good life? It was not mentioned in schools. My family didn't focus on it. And it's from this place inside of me that I feel this need for change, for something more, for something to radically change, for something to grow. There is a cultural awakening. We are bankrupt, not only of ecological capital, but of social capital. We're running low on care and stewardship and compassion. But there is hope. Wherever there is recognition, confusion, discussion, debate, and dissatisfaction, there is an opportunity for growth and change. Even in the unlikeliest places and persons, we all want a good life. If we have children, we want the peace and assurance that they will be able to live to an old age and not be the last generation and live only to see the rest of the earth's ecologies die as we are currently. If we are under 50, we will live to see the end of all the animals we grew up learning the names of as children. The chimpanzees, the rhinos, the cheetahs, the whales, the tigers, the elephants, and so many more. We are realizing there's an abrupt end to this story coming unless we get out of our seats and leave the theater. We are realizing we can no longer be passive if we want a good life, that my good life is your good life, that it always has been. We've only been tricked into thinking that this is all a zero-sum game by the cultural systems we were born into. We share this air. We breathe it in and out. This water we take in and release with every breath, every step, and every tear. We breathe the oxygen the plants on land and in the ocean release, and they take in what we exhale along with everything fungi exhales and decomposition and oxidation releases. The plants use our exhaled breath to trade with the soil for what they cannot get themselves. We are all in this together, and a good life acknowledges and magnifies this deep, intimate relationship with each other and all of nature. If you dream of a good life, you likely see yourself eating the best food, living in a safe, wonderful home, having wonderful relationships with your community, companion, and family, expressing yourself, building an ethical business of purpose and service, and living in a way that spreads peace, regeneration, and abundance with all that you interact with. All abundance, all wealth comes from nature. Natural capital begets all other forms of capital. If we want a good life, we want a regenerative life, a regenerative economy, a regenerative culture. And that means we need permaculture. We need permaculture education. We need the 3 ethics: earth care, people care, and future care. Universal and bioregional natural principles and regenerative methods, frameworks, and design. We can't just hope for a better tomorrow. We have to make the choices today that will form a strong bridge to that specific future. We can't leave it to politicians, protesters, or disasters to spur us on. We must knowingly, consciously, and perhaps even publicly make these choices to live ethically, to live abundantly, to be free, to have peace, to know that tomorrow will always be a brighter day. That is waiting for us all. Everyone is entitled to a happy life, a life of richness, of service, of meaning, of health, of abundance. And that doesn't mean we don't have our individual challenges or that my happiness looks like your happiness, but to arrive at this place, we all need to start living regeneratively. It's not just the trash. It's not just the atmosphere. It's not just the pollution. It's not the numbers. It's the entire symphony of life that we are missing out on. The natural world is a mirror into our own. We are it, and we will never escape that fact. It does not matter if technologically a fraction of humanity can survive on a hostile Earth. We will not survive the loss of nature emotionally. We cannot back up humanity using Mars. This is our home, our future, and the hidden half of our own nature. Hospitals are adopting forest bathing. Scientists are discovering antidepressants in the soil, and so much more. We belong to nature. She is our mother. Our bodies are born of soil and return to it again to serve again and again and again through all permutations of creation. When we can see the soil as our future, our past, our ancestors, and our grandchildren, we will not only see the truth, but we will also see ourselves, because we are also made up of them as well. Humus, humility, to be human. It is who we are, and our greatest challenge to see past our pleasure, our pain, our confusion, distraction, and fear, to rise, to believe, to know that we are regenerative forces, that a good life awaits us all just beyond that thin veil that our culture has dropped over our eyes. It is time, it is past time to lift that veil and to see the world and our future plainly for the first time, to reveal for the first time what we have in front of us. We don't have much time. The next decade will decide everything. Are you ready to see for yourself what a good life is, to feel, to taste it, to see it happen in front of you? We don't have to wait for tomorrow. We can start today with how we eat, how we compost, how we plant, how we grow, how we shop, how we build, how we interact with each other, how we observe, how we design, and who we share with, care with, and teach along the way. A good life is waiting, but we need to seize it before it slips over the horizon beyond our reach. We are in this together, intertwined. Our fates are fused. As with all nature, we are one thing, not many. The loss of one is a loss of a part of everyone and everything. It's time to flip the script, to empower Mother Nature again, to partner with her again with every step. A good life is waiting. The best food, abundant health, true wealth, amazing relationships, a future to look forward to, and peace instead of anxiety and fear. We don't have to live in a scarcity model. Our economies and cultures are only social agreements that have always changed. And it's time again to adapt, to grow, to change, to diversify, to explore, to expand, to rewild, to restore, and to regenerate. The time is now to start on that good life, to seize it, and to carry those around you with your conviction, with your vision, with your care. Now is the time to speak up, to share, to inspire, and to let them all know we can change. There are better options, and a good life for all of us is waiting.